We did, 4 million more passengers year on year. We improved aircraft utilization, much more efficient. And that in the end leads to profitability. So we could do EBITDA, right? Operating profits about 1.4, 1.5 billion dirhams, which is about 400, 500 million dirhams in terms of net income. So the airline is expanding its margin. It's getting to the point where we're getting even more excited about the perspectives for the future.
Operating profit has improved substantially, also an improvement in net profit, but still relatively modest by industry standards. Is that a fair assumption?
That's a fair assumption. I think we can do better. We can do much better. But if you compare to our history, for us, it's a big leap, right? It's a big improvement. So we have a lot of opportunities to keep improving our margins. And this is aviation. You don't do everything in 2-3 years, right? It's a journey, right, to get there. So I'm very proud about the numbers because the numbers, they come from real efficiency. For instance, we cut cost and improved customer service at the same time. So our unit cost went down by 7 points, which is a lot, 7%, right? At the same time, NPS, it's a coincidence, improved by 7 points in summer peak. So I'm very excited about the opportunities that we have ahead of us as we add more flights, as we structure the new banks, as we get new generation aircraft. Margins are going to further expand. But you're right, most airlines in the world are making money.
When it comes to that margin expansion, you and I have spoken before about the opportunities to increase on the revenue side. Talk to me about specifically what you're doing on the cost side and how you're cutting those costs in order to improve margins. Can you give me some examples of what you're doing?
Yeah. The biggest cost an airline has, and nobody wants to talk about that, is an empty seat. That's a huge cost. Every empty seat, this is like perishable in the supermarket, right? I lose it, right? Etihad, improved a lot last year in terms of aircraft utilization. We grew about 30% last year. 75% of that growth came from flying planes that were not flying what they should be flying. Planes that were parked, planes that were grounded, planes that we own, that were sitting there without producing revenue. So as you use your assets, your unit cost goes down because in the end you have more revenue to divide by the same base of planes that you have. So one big thing is efficiency, right? We're improving efficiency a lot. We had great on-time performance last year, 85% on-time performance. This is less people not connecting. This is happier customers, right? This is providing us the ability to lower our costs. And we also attacked very clearly inflation. So one thing that we did, we renegotiated most of our suppliers last year that were providing us handling services, catering services. So we saved more than $150 million last year in contract renegotiation. We managed to block the effect of inflation in our costs last year, which is amazing. So at the same time, efficiency and growth, diluting fixed costs, right, together with renegotiating contracts.
There's cost pressures right across the industry now, and I know this is something that Etihad is not unique in facing. So how would you compare and contrast some of the cost issues that you're facing today relative to years past?
It's a lot, right? The pressure is much bigger, right? But it's much easier for an airline that is growing to renegotiate contracts than an airline that is not growing. So if I have more volume to offer to my suppliers, they can give me a lower unit cost. So for Etihad, is actually an opportunity for us, right? Because we can try to negotiate better terms with the suppliers because we're growing.